So Apple Watch Series 4 has been on the market for quite some time, and Series 3 has come down. Is it worth it? Coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology should you buy the Apple Watch Series 3. Now, this video is inspired because I've been paying attention to the market, and Series 3 has actually been coming down quite a bit, especially if you look third party, and I think this watch still offers quite a bit of bang for the buck. Even though the Series 4 is out, it's got the fall feature, it has the ECG feature functionality, it's a nice new design. Still, the Series 3 I think has quite a bit up its sleeve, and I want to talk about my experience with it and if you should buy it here this year. Now, the first thing I want to discuss is the design, beginning with the weight. At under 60 grams, this thing is very light. You can actually balance it on one finger. It's so darn light, and with that little grippy back where the sensors are, you should have no problem doing so. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. You don't want to drop it and break that IONX glass, do you? You would probably have a hard time doing that. The build quality itself, though, is very strong, especially if you go with the ceramic or the stainless steel models. The aluminum casing is the cheaper model, the one I got right here. But still, this watch right here is very durable. Yes, but is it unbreakable? No. You definitely want to put a case on this one. But overall, I would say I'm pretty happy with even the cheapest models' durability. Now, in terms of the screen, we're talking about a 1.65-inch AMOLED screen, 16 million colors at 303 ppi. What are you talking about, Nick? It's sharp. It's got really deep blacks that blend seamlessly into the glass side. So even with the newer design Apple Watch, it's going to be hard to tell them apart unless you get up close to somebody's Apple Watch and you really know what you're looking at. So overall, this display is still very acceptable, and it gets plenty bright. It can get all the way up to 1000 nits, and it does feature a 3D touch on the screen, which will allow you to change between list view and grid view. And this really just is a very solid display for Apple Watch Series 3. So I don't think most people are going to have any issue whatsoever with the Series 3 display. It's plenty sharp enough for most activities, gets plenty bright enough, and it's dark and nice and contrasty. So really good screen for Series 3. Now, I should mention, when it comes to the software experience, you are going to be on watchOS 5. 5.2 is coming soon. watchOS 6 will be coming to this watch as well. You're going to get upgrades for a long time with the Series 3. But one thing I do have to say is that when you do go with this watch, you're not going to get the Series 4 ECG feature like I talked about earlier, which supposedly by news has been saving people's lives and stuff like that. But not everybody is really going to need that feature. Also, the fall detection, if you're an older person, you might want to get the newer one. But I would say at this current time, you still have some plenty useful features here for Series 3. And most of the core experience on the Apple Watch is kind of the same. So saving yourself $200 or so might not be a bad deal on getting Series 3 right now in the software department. It still runs very smooth on this OS. Now, these watch faces are the older ones. You do get a couple more in Series 4. So if you do really care about that stuff, you're probably going to want to skip this one out. But you have to decide, do you actually see the value in $150 or $200 more just for those little things on the Series 4? Now, I'm not talking about those features like ECG. Those are not little, but I'm definitely talking about little customization stuff like a watch face is not something I would make a big fuss over. So really, I think this is really offering up some solid value in its overall fluidity of software. Now, performance, on the other hand, is supposed to be 2 times faster, something like that on Series 4. But Series 3 was one of those watches that brought some pretty solid speed. So the original series of Apple Watch was just really slow in comparison to Series 3. So Series 3 never in my entire year of using it ever made me feel like, oh, I need a big upgrade. My watch is slow. Actually, quite the contrary. It's very fast with its Apple S3 chipset. It's a dual core, and it's got powered VR GPU. So there's really nothing wrong with the speed on Series 3 right now. And with it continuing to be updated, it's just like the iPhone. Your older iPhone runs well, your older Apple Watch runs well as well. So I have really nothing to complain about with Series 3's performance. Storage, again, I didn't run out of storage, as I don't really like to load a ton of things on my watch, making it super distracting. It's supposed to be helping you stay focused instead of looking at your phone so much. Now, in terms of the microphone and the audio, it's impressive indoors, but once you take it outdoors, good luck. Siri will still hear you very well, as pickup response on when you're talking to it is always pretty accurate. So Had no issues with that, but I couldn't really hear it outside as the environments did get louder. But you can connect to Bluetooth and stuff like that, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. It's still pretty cool that you can talk to a watch and it will talk back to you. That's still a pretty amazing feature here. Now, in terms of the GPS functionality, it was very accurate, the most accurate I've seen on the Apple Watch series. Well, I haven't tried Series 4, but until Series 3 came out. So really, there wasn't a big problem with GPS. Actually, most people really bought this watch mostly because of this feature here. Also, in terms of the Bluetooth, 4.2, not 5.0 like on all the newer devices, but still 4.2 was plenty fine enough. Now, breathing and telling you when to stand up was something this watch did quite a bit to me, and I kind of like that because it kind of tells me subtly when I should stand up, when I should breathe. It was pretty cool. Battery life overall, though, with the Series 3 was a major upgrade over people who came from the original version or the Series 1. So really, these watches here, Series 3 and 4, are the best battery life watches you can get on the market when it comes to Apple watches. Now, there are other watches from Samsung that get even better battery life, but we're talking about the Apple Watch here, and you don't really go wrong. I never really had to use the power reserve mode. That's how long this watch lasted for me, about 18 hours. Now, I bet you're wondering, oh no, he did not just put that $10 watch next to the king, the Apple Watch. Oh yes, I did. And the reason I did is to ask you the question, are you buying an Apple Watch because you need one or just because you want one to look cool? Because if you're just buying this to tell time, you're going to really have some buyer's remorse. The Apple Watch, really, you need to take advantage of what it does to actually feel like you got your monies out of it. So do really take that into account when you are buying any smartwatch. Are you going to get value out of it, or are you just going to tell time? Because you really probably don't need one if you're just getting it to tell time. The charging will be a hassle, it'll get annoying, but if you want it for fashion, there's so many bands like the ones you see here, the Milanese loop, as well as these nylon sport bands and even breathable bands like the ones from Nike. So there's tons of fashion here if you do want it as a fashion accessory, or you just want to use it as a smartwatch and you want plenty of different, personalization depending on what you're doing. At the end of the day, is the Apple Watch Series 3 a should you buy in 2019? And the answer, if you're going to find value out of it, absolutely. It is well worth it, and I've been very happy with it over my years. So much so that I'm really having a hard time justifying upgrading to the Series 4. I might just upgrade to the Series 4 just to review it for you guys, but honestly, personally, I don't really feel that it's necessary. Series 5 should be coming out later this year, probably will improve even more on Series 4. It's going to be tough to follow that one up, as it was really, Apple at the top of their game when it comes to the watch, and more people than ever are buying watches. But the Series 3, like I say, has offered me good performance, good battery life, very good speed, and never made me feel like I had some, watch that was outdated because the Series 4 came out. Although the design looks amazing on the 4th gen, this one is pretty good. So comment your thoughts down below. Thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe if you haven't already. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.